Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in to Savvy by Nature with Cindy Grant. I welcome all of our Savvy by Nature oilers. And if you just so happen to have seen this video fly by your feed and you want to check it out, we welcome you too. So today I'm answering the question of why do essential oils from Young Living work in such a profound way that bring you amazing benefits in health. If you can remember my first video, I was talking about my experience for the very first time of using essential oils that brought me relief for the first time in 20 years after trying so many different things. And you can imagine my analyzer brain going crazy, wondering why these essential oils were working the way that they were, when even trying other essential oils in previous years never worked this way. So the answer is very much a part of what the oil is itself and how it's made. So by definition, an essential oil must come from a live organic plant that has aroma. So think about a rose flower. It is a flower that is powerfully aromatic, and you can actually press the petals into an essential oil and use that essential oil for many different benefits. Look at cedarwood. I'm just going to use that because I've been hanging on to that this afternoon. Cedarwood is amazing. It is calming. I love to rub it on my shoulders before I go to bed at night. It's very soothing. Where does it come from? It comes from the cedar tree. And the cedar tree has bark, and in this bark there are beautiful nutrients that when they're carefully extracted and carefully distilled, we can turn it into a powerful essential oil that's actually 70 times stronger than the plant itself. So an essential oil is truly the lifeblood of the plant, that when we carefully extract it, when we carefully bottle it, when we carefully harvest and distill it, that it can do for us what it initially does for the plant. What does it do for the plant? Balances it, it protects it, it nourishes it, it repairs it. And the key here is that it is real, live, natural biology. So it's alive and it is a living organism, and it's maintained in this bottle all the way till it gets to you. So in your bottle of essential oil from Young Living, that's live, that is still alive. And that is truly the key to what's going to raise your health. It's going to lift, it's going to protect, and it's going to raise your health. How come? Because it is nature to nature. Nature to nature. We are all primarily made up of the same ingredients. So we jive together. And when we have organic matter that is put on our body notices it as friendly, and it allows it to do what it needs to do. That's why our body loves plants. Organic fruits and vegetables are so very good for us. Think about an essential oil the same way that you would think about food if you're going to really understand the definition. We know that an orange has many different nutrients, and we eat oranges for good health, to raise how we feel, to make sure that we are healthy. And when we actually get an essential oil from orange, we press the outside skins, we get the orange oil out. There could be about 60 oranges in this bottle, and this is a nutrient. This is also a nutrient. So when an essential oil that is free of chemicals, free of toxins, additives, preservatives, and extenders goes on to our body says, hey, you're friendly. I'm going to let those nutrients do what they need to do in the body. And that is key. So are all essential oils on the market therapeutic grade? Because that's what I'm talking about here, are therapeutic grade essential oils that land in these bottles. Unfortunately, the answer is no, they're not. The majority of the essential oils on the market are actually what we call perfume grade, and that means that many of them aren't even plant at all. They're made from synthetics, which often come from petrochemicals or petroleum products, and they're made up in order to support our cosmetic and our perfume industry. It's a tradition that's been going on for many years in North America, so it's very much a standard that an essential oil doesn't have to be real, or they can be cut with extenders that are chemicals of the same. And when you take a look at the label, we can't always trust the label because of what that organic or pure word actually means. The unfortunate thing is that with the labeling laws, there aren't too many things that govern what we can do with those words and what they actually mean. So across different countries, essential oils can have different organic labeling. Some can mean, well, it's 70% of the plant, whereas others could mean that it is a minimum of 5 to 35% of the original plant in the bottle. And we don't want that, because that means that the manufacturer can put whatever they want in that 30 to 90% in order to extend that product, to put it on the shelf. We want 100% pure plant therapy plant, and that's what you're getting with Young Living. That's why it works the way that it does. So understand that during the process of making an essential oil, anything that touches the essential oil that's toxic or that's a chemical, that is farm pesticides, that's going to impact what that essential oil is and what it can do. It's going to change the grade of essential oil, and it's going to limit the effectiveness of what it can do for you. It's definitely not therapeutic grade, and what we must remember is that our bodies cannot process synthetic chemicals. We want as much plant, organic plant, as we possibly can. So when you are getting a bottle of Young Living essential oil, you are getting 100% plant therapy. No chemicals, no extenders, no additives, no pesticides. It's actually quite the opposite. I have had the opportunity to go to the Mona, Utah farm and play in the lavender fields, which was pretty outstanding in and of itself, but you get a chance to see the entire process because it's all public. Anybody can go to a Young Living farm and watch how they are making the essential oils, what they do every step. They even allow you to go in and plant your own lavender and be a part of the harvest. So I can't possibly tell you everything that they do to make sure that these essential oils are the way that they are, but I can give you a pretty good picture from my experience. Young Living has many corporate-owned farms around the world, but they also have partner farms. Regardless of what they are, those lands have been tested to make sure that they're pristine before they're even purchased, as well as worked on. So heritage seeds are what starts an essential oil, and those heritage seeds are tested before they even go into the ground. All plants are fed with clean, local, fresh spring water, as well as organic fertilization with organic worm farms, and they feed them organic bananas. There are absolutely no pesticides, only herbal solutions and hand weeding. Each plant, and this I found phenomenal, each plant has been tested and measured to find out what part of its growth maturity brings the highest level of therapeutic value, and then that's the timing that Young Living uses to harvest that plant. What company does that? The sustainability is what spoke to my heart. I was raised with respecting of nature and honoring nature. And when a company gives back to the earth and supports the earth, that's the company that I want to be aligned with. So if you take a look, what they harvest from the land, they put back in and more. So the reforestation, if you Google it, is pretty phenomenal to read about. Not only that, but the sustainability happens in all aspects of the farming, all aspects of the business. For example, in Northern Lights Black Spruce Farm up in BC, the wood chips that are used in order to create Northern Lights Black Spruce goes back into cultivating the earth, and it also goes into helping people warm their homes by giving them wood chips for their wood-burning fireplaces. So this is a really important aspect, and it says a lot about the company, that they're true stewards of the land, and it really does align with what the seed was that Gary Young planted when he created this company. I mean, Gary Young was looking for essential oils that could help him get better, that could help his clients get better. He was a farmer, a scientist, a philanthropist. He worked the land right up until the day that he passed. And that's the basis and the foundation of what's in these bottles. So let's keep going. Let's talk about distillation. When you're distilling an essential oil, there's two things that can completely damage the gentle, very delicate compounds in a plant, and that's heat and temperature. And if you're not watching that, you're not getting an essential oil that's going to lift your health to the best of its ability. So every single plant has a different combination, and those combinations are managed right at the distillation process. We also have testing on site in the laboratories at the farm, but also third-party testing to make sure that quality of essential oil is what it is. And if it isn't, if it shows up that something lands in that essential oil, it does not get processed. It gets turned away. It does not get put into these bottles. So your essential oils are untouched by human hands. They are only touched by glass and stainless steel through the bottling and the packaging process until they get to your front door. So Young Living's been farming this way for over 28 years, and it's probably more than that. I'm probably undercutting the amount of time that Young Living has been working to this grade of essential oil. And they are the longest lasting producer of this grade in North America. Gary Young was one of the first of the 3 pioneers to bring this back into North America. So this is why the essential oils work the way that they do. Why when I put 2 to 3 bottles, a couple of drops from each bottle on my body, that I started to feel the effects immediately, and my health started to lift and continue to lift the more that I use them. So I want you to keep that in mind as we share more videos with you, because every lavender, every peppermint, every tea tree that comes out of Young Living, they're all made to this standard. And that's why they're going to do what they do. And that's why I'm going to share these recipes with you. So I'd like you to, my hopes are that this has been a big green awakening for me. And it's trickled throughout my entire life because I love these standards and I apply them to all aspects of our lives now. And I just hope that it's a part of yours as well. So if you would like to know more before our next video, please reach out to me at cldbutterfly@hotmail.com. That's my email, or my website at savvybynature.marketingsense or .vibrantsense.com. Again, that's savvybynature.vibrantsense.com. Stay tuned. The oils are up next.